guys, it's Leah. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Thank you for joining me today to watch my July reading recap. In July I read 6 books, but overall I'm very happy with the quality of those books that I read. So even though the number's a little on the low side for me, I'm not upset about it at all. I read everything on my TBR, plus I got quite a bit further in Magician by Raymond E. Feist. I was at 43% of that book at the beginning of this month, and now I am just over 60%. So I think that's not too bad. That's a slow going one for me. But anyway, I digress. The first book I finished this month was Wolf Road by Alice Roberts. This is a middle grade fantasy about a prehistoric girl and her tribe, and it is following the journey of her tribe's movements from their winter camp to their summer camp, and following the things that happen to Thule as she goes along this journey. She experiences loss, she meets new people, she meets a boy who she has never seen before. She's familiar with all her people, but she meets a boy who doesn't look like anyone she's ever known or sound like them. She finds a wolf pup and takes care of her. It's a really slice of life, heartwarming, but also very emotional story. And even though it is for readers, what, 9 to 12, I think it is suitable for all ages. Even if you're an older reader, it is really, really nice. Plus the illustrator did a really fantastic job. There is great art throughout the book, but of course as I flick through it, none of it is going to appear. There's some more there. It's really awesome. So I gave this a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. Not going to change my life or anything like that, but it was a good way to start the month for me, especially because I was having quite a hectic month at the beginning, and this was a good way to sort of ease into it, start with something I wouldn't normally pick up and uncover something really cool. So I do actually recommend this book for a variety of readers, so definitely check it out. The second book I read was actually a bit of an apprehensive pickup for me. I wasn't too sure about it. I thought this book would not really live up to the internet hype, and that book is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I tore through this book. It really exceeded my expectations. Thankfully, I'd sort of dampened my expectations beforehand in the sense that I might have thought it was a fantasy romance, but thankfully I watched some videos beforehand and read some comments online and found out that it is a fantasy book first and foremost with a romance subplot. I was also a little bit apprehensive because it's in the YA category, and I don't always have the best luck with YA fantasy, but it really, really exceeded my expectations. I thought the ending especially was really, really good. I liked the main character a lot. I gave this a 4 stars, but I do see the potential for the rest of the series to maybe score higher, so I'm excited to read more and find out if that's going to be the case. My first 5-star read of the month was The One by Kiera Cass. I read this in like a day, less than a day, maybe like 4 hours. It was so good. I find it like almost embarrassing how much I enjoy these books. To me, they're just phenomenal. I don't know how Kiera Cass did such a good job with a series that is essentially dystopian bachelor YA, but it's just, I don't have the words. I just love it. I think it's emotional. I think the topics are like really serious and done quite well. There's plot holes and problems, don't get me wrong, but I am more than willing to overlook those problems for the overall story and how overall it made me feel, and these books just grip me by the and make me read them. So I gave The One 5 stars. Actually, before The One, I read The Traitor Queen by Danielle L. Jensen. This is the sequel to The Bridge Kingdom, which is a very popular book. I hadn't heard too much about The Traitor Queen, but when I picked it up, I really, really enjoyed it again, and I gave it a 5 stars, just like I did the first book. I find, at least what I've sampled of Danielle L. Jensen's writing, to be very punchy, very palatable. I liked where she picked up from with the first book, and the story flowed really nicely. Things came to, I think, more natural and realistic resolutions, and I just love all the characters she creates. I thought they were fantastic. And of course, the chemistry between our male main character and our female main character are just wonderful. I love them so much. I was just obviously rooting for them like the whole time. So I give that book a 5 stars as well. Another read I absolutely crashed through. I read The Cruel Prince, The One, and The Traitor Queen all in the matter of 3 or 4 days. My book of the month was definitely Age Will Sin by Daniel T. Jackson. I've talked about this book multiple times at this point on my channel, or you know, there's more video. I'm a bit behind on my vlogs, so I mean, you'll hear about it more if you stick around and hear sort of my thoughts in full, so I won't give them all here. But again, Age Will Sin is the sequel to Illborn, the second book in the Illborn saga by Daniel T. Jackson. Just punchy, emotive, fast-paced, action-packed, really compelling characters, each with their own storyline. You just are immersed in every character and you care about every character. There's not one that you could really take or leave. Like, they're a package deal and their journey is so interesting. And this is a very big book, but I read it quite quickly. I think they're just like super amazing and digestible epic fantasy reads. Some epic fantasy can be a bit of a slog. I don't find that the case at all with the Illborn saga. So Age Will Sin was a 5 star and I highly recommend it to everyone. Then my flop of the month is Stars of Chaos by Priest. I really thought I was going to like this. I picked it up because of the cover and I thought the story sounded interesting. I thought I would really like it. I didn't end up liking it as much as I wish I did. I gave this a 3 stars. I was desperately trying to find something that would make me give it a 3.5. I just couldn't do it. It is completely fine. A lot of people would really love this. I don't like slow paced, I think. There's action in this book, but everything is really slow. Obviously this is a volumed sort of novel set. Just the nature of such a thing is that it moves a lot slower. I found the character relationships move too slowly, even though there was a significant passage of time in the books. Yeah, there was just nothing in it that made me like, wow, I need to pick up the next volume of this. I am going to try more translated work in like a similar vein in the future, but I don't think I'll be continuing the Stars of Chaos series, unfortunately. There are so many people out there who love this book, so check out the synopsis and you might find that this is something that you want to give a go. The writing in it itself, no problems with it at all. It just wasn't really for me. Finally, I know I called Age Will Sin my book of the month, but I have 2 books of the month. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This to me was a will it live up to the hype book. It had dragons in it, so I was already predisposed to loving it, but holy shit. This is a 5-star read through and through. I smashed through this. I was so distraught at the thought of leaving this book behind while I went to Copenhagen that I paid another $5 on top of however much I already paid for this one to get it on my Kindle as well, so I could finish it on my flight to Copenhagen. I read the second half of this book in 1 day, in a few hours. Holy shit. It is so fantastic. I don't even know where to begin. Where should I begin? Khan and Rave are just... oh! And the story in this is just fantastic. To me, at least, there was not one element of this story that was predictable. Every time I thought I knew where something was going and what the outcome of something would be, or what I expected the natural progression to be, it did not go that way at all. But at the same time, it wasn't like, oh my god, like the author's doing things that make no sense. No, not at all. The story was just amazing, and even if it didn't have like that punchy electric chemistry between Rave and Khan that it did, it would still be like, if you took the core of the romance sort of out, you would still have a really strong story. Of course, this is not, I would not say at all this is a fantasy with a romance subplot. The fantasy and the romance are very much interwoven, and the romance is something significant within the plot. So, but I'm just trying to say that the plot itself is so good that, you know, I'm not like overlooking problems with plot just because I love the romance and the chemistry or anything like that. Not at all. It's just, this book is the full package, 5 stars. It was absolutely incredible. I'm going to be encouraging everyone in my book club to read this book. It is just unreal. If you have been doubting this book, like doubting picking up this book and, you know, thinking, oh, it's not going to be good compared to the hype, just pick it up, okay? Maybe it won't be for you, right? But I think most people would really love this book, and it was just absolute friggin' 10 out of 10. This book was amazing. So all in all, it was a really, really great reading month. Not a ton of books, as I said, but I had quite a few 5 stars and solid 4 stars. I only really had one book that I didn't enjoy too much, and you know, that was a case of me just trying something new and it not being for me, and that's totally fine. One of my goals this year is to really read more variety of books, but not in the sense of genre, but in the sense of like formats within genres, and trying more translated works and picking things up that I might not ordinarily gravitate towards, and not sort of reading the same books with different covers and names slapped on them, you know. And I feel like this month was really good for that, especially in terms of picking up Stars of Chaos and Wolf Road. I'm super happy with my book choices this month, and I'm also extremely excited to read everything that I have coming up in August. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a comment below letting me know how many books you read in the month of July and what those books were. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!